The world is still somewhere. Deep beneath the heavy veil of a London morning, time seems to slow down and breathe. Can you hear it? The faint, rhythmic sound of a distant carriage wheel rolling over damp cobblestones. The soft, ghostly sigh of the Thames mist creeping through the narrow, winding alleys of the city. Everything is hushed, held in the fragile silver light of an early dawn. Before the soot-stained chimneys begin to exhale their morning clouds, before the gas lamps flicker into their final weary rest, there is a small wooden door. It stands humble and quiet on a corner of a street that has seen a century of footsteps. This is the threshold where our journey begins tonight. You are not here to rush, nor are you here to solve the puzzles of the modern world. You are here to step into the gentle, steady rhythm of a life long past. As the first faint hues of grey and violet paint the sky above the rooftops, a simple iron key turns in a heavy lock. Click. The sound is sharp, crisp, and final. It is the heartbeat of a shopkeeper starting their day. With a gentle push, the shutters are unlatched, revealing the dusty, slumbering street outside. The air is cool, carrying the scent of damp brick, coal dust, and the promise of a quiet, methodical day ahead. You are safe here. The day is slow, the worries of the present are miles away, and there is nothing required of you but to listen and drift. Welcome to this space of history, a place to rest your mind and let the imagery of the Victorian era carry you into a peaceful state of relaxation. As we walk through this day together, let the weight of your own day fall away, replaced by the simple, grounding tasks of a simpler time. The channel Sleepy History with Benedict is a storytelling platform created for entertainment, inspiration, education, and the promotion of positive emotional values. Step inside, away from the encroaching chill of the street inside. The shop is a sanctuary of wood, wax, and woven fabrics. The darkness is thick, smelling of dried lavender, polished mahogany, and the faint earthy scent of stored grain. With a practiced hand you reach for the oil lamp, the flint striking a spark that soon blooms into a warm, golden glow. The room comes alive in fragments. First the dark corners are banished, then the rows of glass jars perched upon the shelves reveal their treasures, polished buttons, coils of sturdy twine, dried herbs tied in bundles, and small colourful sweets that seem to catch the flickering lamplight. Listen to the sound of the day beginning, the soft rhythmic swish of a birch broom against the floorboards as the dust of yesterday is swept toward the door. Each motion is deliberate, calming, and repetitive. You begin to arrange the displays near the front window. A crate of fresh apples is placed carefully on the stand. Their skin is firm, cool, and dappled with deep reds and forest greens. Beside them, rolls of cotton cloth are unspooled just a few inches, just enough to show the weave, the texture of the fabric that will soon clothe someone's Sunday best. Outside, the city is beginning to stir, but the wall between here and there feels thick and protective. You hear a distant cry of a milkman, a voice muffled by the fog, and the clatter of a horse-drawn cart somewhere further down the lane. But these are merely background notes to your own symphony of order. Everything has its place here. The balance scale is wiped clean until the brass gleams. The weights, small, circular discs of iron, are aligned in perfect order. There is a profound sense of satisfaction in this. It is a quiet world of measurement and preparation, where the complexity of life is reduced to the weight of a pound of flour or the length of a ribbon. As the sun finally crests the horizon and the first shaft of pale golden light spills through the window to meet the lamplight, the shop is ready. You breathe in the stillness, savouring the moment before the world fully wakes, finding comfort in the absolute predictability of the morning. The little brass bell above the door gives a crisp, welcoming chime, a silver sound that cuts through the morning quiet. It is the first note of the day's social rhythm. A familiar neighbour steps in, their heavy coat dusted with the remnants of the morning mist. It is old Mr. Higgins, as he is every Tuesday, coming for his small ration of tea and perhaps a twist of tobacco. There is no rush here. You greet him with a nod. a small gesture of recognition that acknowledges the shared history of this street. You move to the counter, your movements fluid and practiced. The scale tips ever so slightly as you measure out the tea leaves, the dry, fragrant scent filling the air between you. It is a moment of connection, a simple exchange of goods that anchors the day. You share a brief comment about the weather, how the fog seems to linger longer this year, and how the air feels just a touch sharper than it did last week. It is small talk, comfortable and unpretentious, the kind of conversation that requires nothing from you but presence. As Mr. Higgins departs, the bell chimes again. This time it is a young mother, clutching a worn basket, her face bright despite the chill. She needs bread, flour, and perhaps a spool of thread to mend a sleeve. Again the rhythm continues. You move from the shelves to the counter, your apron rustling softly. You wrap the bread in clean paper, tying it with a bit of twine with a final satisfying knot. There is a profound simplicity to this, a life built on tangible things, on the direct result of labour and care. The street outside is growing louder now. You hear the rumble of heavy cartwheels on the cobblestones, the distant muffled shouting of vendors in the main market, and the hurried footfalls of workers rushing toward their factories. Yet inside these walls you remain the steady centre. The shop is a calm harbour. Every coin that passes between you and your customers has a weight to it, a history of its own. You place them into the wooden till, the sound of metal against wood providing a steady, rhythmic cadence to the morning. It is a busy time, but not a chaotic one. Each customer brings a sliver of the world inside, and each leaves with a small piece of your labour satisfied and cared for. The sun now hangs high above the city, casting long, sharp shadows that shrink against the grey brickwork of the street. Inside the shop the pace has quickened. This is the heartbeat of the midday, a time when the rhythm of the city pulses through the front door. Yet for you it remains a choreographed dance of efficiency. You are moving with a quiet grace, navigating the narrow space between the shelves and the counter. The bell rings again, and then again, a steady melodic chorus. You are handing over a package of tea here, weighing out a measure of dried currants there. Each transaction is a story, a brief pause in the day. A delivery cart rattles to a halt outside, and you hear the familiar thud of crates being unloaded. Fresh supplies of soap, candles, and jars of preserves. You greet the delivery boy with a kind word, exchanging a few coins for the heavy wooden boxes, which you then stack with practiced care in the dim, cool air of the back room. Even in this busier stretch you maintain the sanctuary of the shop. You see a stray bit of dust on a shelf and reach out to wipe it away with a soft cloth. You notice a jar of spices is running low and make a mental note to replenish it before the evening light sets in. Everything must remain in order. It is this order that provides the comfort your customers seek. While the city beyond the glass is a blur of motion, hurried faces, and the chaotic sounds of a metropolis at work, this shop is an island of relative calm. You hear snippets of conversation, neighbours discussing the price of coal, the quality of the latest shipment of flour, or the changing temper of the London clouds. You listen, you nod, you serve, and you anchor the space. There is a deep, resonating satisfaction in this work. It is not complex, but it is necessary, and it is performed with a standard of care that has become your signature. As the hours tick steadily onward, you find your own internal clock syncing with the needs of the shop. A gentle hypnotic oscillation that keeps you steady, focused, and profoundly present. All stories on this channel, Sleepy History with Benedict, are fictional, thoughtfully crafted around historical themes and inspired by real events, figures, and periods, reimagined for engaging storytelling. The content does not represent real individuals, actual events, or documented cases. Any resemblance to real people, animals, or events is purely coincidental. As the afternoon wears on, the quality of the light shifts. The bright, sharp clarity of midday softens, deepening into the rich amber hues of a London sunset. The sun, filtered through the thick haze of the city, casts long, warm shadows that stretch across the floorboards like silent, golden fingers. The rush of customers has subsided, leaving a lingering, tranquil quiet in the wake of the busy hours. You find yourself moving more slowly now. The familiar fatigue of a long day begins to settle in, not as a weight, but as a soothing blanket of accomplishment. You take a moment to stand by the window, watching the street lamps being lit one by one in the distance. The transformation of the city is beautiful to behold. The grey stone and brick seem to soften, blurring into a dreamlike landscape of twilight and shadow. This is the time when you take a moment to look over your accounts. The ledgers with their crisp, clean pages are open on the counter. The scratch of your pen is the only sound, a dry, rhythmic scraping that mirrors the settling of the day. You record the final sales, checking the figures against the remaining inventory. Each number tells a story of the day, the bread that fed a family, the candles that will light a home tonight, the small necessities that kept the neighborhood running. If this peaceful history helps you unwind, please like, subscribe, and tap the bell. Your support helps us continue to bring these quiet, historical moments to you, ensuring that even in our busy lives there is always a place to return to for rest and reflection. The shop is dimming now, the shelves cast in soft, mysterious silhouettes. You feel a sense of harmony with the space, a realization that your work is done, and that there is a profound, quiet beauty in the simple acts of service and order. The evening air is cooler, pressing gently against the glass, and for a few precious moments you simply exist in the fading light, letting the world outside continue its frantic pace while you remain here, safe, sound, and utterly at peace. The amber glow of the afternoon has faded, replaced by the cool, velvety blue of true twilight. Inside the shop the shadows have deepened, turning familiar shapes, the stack of crates, the row of glass jars, the long counter into soft, indistinct silhouettes. It is a time of transition, a moment when the shop breathes a sigh of relief as the demands of the day recede into the past. You walk through the aisles, your footsteps muffled by the worn wooden floor. There is a quiet, meditative quality to this final walk-through. You check the shelves one last time, ensuring everything is in its proper place, ready for the dawn to come. A stray book is pushed straight, a stray scrap of paper is tucked away, and the weight of the day feels lighter with every small, deliberate action. The air is still, carrying the faint, comforting scent of tea, sawdust, and the cooling wick of the lamp. You reach for the heavy iron ledger, the pages thick and slightly textured under your fingers. With a steady hand you finalize the accounts, the ink flowing smoothly onto the paper. It is the final period at the end of a long, coherent sentence. The numbers, though small and humble, represent the fabric of the community you serve. You hear the distant, muffled chime of a church clock striking the hour. It is a deep, resonant sound that seems to vibrate through the very walls of the shop. Outside, the street is almost entirely quiet now. The bustle of the day has retreated, leaving behind the hushed whispers of the night. You feel a profound sense of closure, a satisfaction that comes from having performed your duties with patience and care. There is nothing left to rush for, no more customers to serve, no more decisions to make. The shop, your little harbour of order, is finally at rest. You are the sole witness to this quiet, end-of-day scene, a keeper of the peace in a world that never truly stops turning. As you stand in the dim light, the silence feels heavy and protective, a warm, invisible shroud that invites you to let go of the last remnants of the day's tasks and simply drift with the stillness. Now the shop exists in a state of soft, suspended animation. The gas lamps outside on the street have cast long, flickering patterns through the window panes, painting the floor with moving shapes of light and dark. You stand in the centre of the room, listening to the house breathe. It is a structure of age and history, settling slowly into the cool night air. The shelves, which were filled with the necessities of life only a few hours ago, now hold the mysteries of the evening. The rows of glass jars catch the occasional pale glow from the street, gleaming like hidden pearls in the dark. The fabric on the counter seems to ripple in the faint draught, a ghost of the busy motion that filled the room during the day. Everything here has a memory of use, a story of connection, and in the quiet of the night, those stories feel closer, more intimate. You move to the small, cozy corner where a single wooden chair sits by the back wall. This is your place of rest. The wood is smooth and cool, worn into a shape that welcomes your weary posture. From this vantage point, the shop looks entirely different. It is no longer a place of commerce, but a sanctuary of quiet reflection. You watch the dust motes dance in the thin streams of moonlight that filter through the high, narrow windows. They drift like tiny golden stars, aimless and free, mirroring the way your thoughts begin to untether from the day. The silence is not empty, it is full. It is the silence of a job well done, of a community served, and of a rhythm maintained. It is the kind of silence that invites you to close your eyes and let the edges of your reality soften. The outside world, with its grand ambitions, its loud noises, and its rapid pace, feels as though it belongs to another dimension. Here there is only the slow, rhythmic beating of your own heart and the gentle settling creak of the floorboards. You are held in the embrace of history, a timeless participant in a daily cycle that has repeated for generations. The day has been long, the work has been steady, and now, in this deepening pool of shadow and stillness, you find the purest form of rest. In the quiet hours of the night, the shop seems to hold memories of all who have passed through its doors. Each object on the shelves, the worn handles of iron tools, the fraying edges of heavy wool blankets, the delicate glass bottles that once held sweet scents, carries a faint trace of someone's life. You aren't just selling goods, you are participating in a long, unbroken chain of human needs and small satisfactions. These items were once the central pillars of a person's week, the things that made a house a home, that mended a garment, that brought a small comfort to a difficult winter. As you sit in the stillness, you think of the many faces that greeted you today. Some were hurried, some were weary, but all were seeking a moment of reliability in an uncertain city. You realize that your presence here, your steady hand, your attentive ear, your willingness to provide what was needed, has been a small, quiet contribution to the well-being of your neighbors. This realization is a warm glow that settles deep within your chest, a feeling of purpose that transcends the mundane tasks of trade. If you are finding this journey through time relaxing, please take a moment to like, subscribe, and tap the bell. Your support allows these stories to reach more listeners, helping to build a community that values the peace, the history, and the gentle, slow-paced stories that we share together. Every interaction is a reminder that we are all part of this unfolding narrative. The shadows deepen, and the shop seems to grow larger, more expansive, as if it is expanding to hold all the quiet moments of the day. You let your gaze wander over the shelves one last time, feeling a profound sense of gratitude. The day was long, filled with movement and light, and now it is perfectly balanced by this descent into night. There is no urgency to leave, no pressure to perform. Here, in the heart of Victorian London, the world can wait. You are free to simply exist, to listen to the soft, rhythmic sounds of the building breathing, and to let your mind drift away into the velvet embrace of the past. Just as the silence begins to feel absolute, a new, gentle sound emerges. It starts as a hesitant tapping against the high, glass-paned windows, a soft, crystalline patter. Then it grows, blooming into a steady, rhythmic drumming against the slate roof above. Rain. It is the signature sound of a London night, a soft, pervasive curtain of grey that separates this room from the rest of the world. Inside, the atmosphere shifts. The rain turns the shop into a vessel, a sturdy wooden ark floating through the dark, damp city. The sound is hypnotic, a constant, low-frequency white noise that wraps around you like a heavy, velvet cloak. Each drop strikes the glass with a gentle precision, a tiny, watery heartbeat that syncs perfectly with your own breathing. You feel completely secure here, shielded by the thick stone walls and the solid, time-worn timber. The dim light of the room seems to shimmer with the reflection of the rain, catching the wet sheen on the window glass. You watch as small rivulets of water trace paths down the panes, distorting the world outside into a blurred, impressionistic painting of dark street corners and faint glowing gaslights. There is no longer a street, no longer a city, only this cozy, protected space, the steady rhythmic wash of the rain, and the deep, abiding sense of peace that it brings. You lean back further into your chair, feeling the tension evaporate from your shoulders. The world has slowed down to the pace of the raindrops. There is nothing to do, nowhere to be, and no expectations to meet. The rain is a lullaby, a timeless melody that has sung millions of Londoners to sleep throughout the centuries. It is a reminder that even when the skies are grey and the clouds hang low, there is a profound underlying rhythm to life that is meant to be enjoyed, not rushed. You close your eyes, letting the sound of the storm become the only reality, a gentle blurring edge that guides you deeper into the quiet sanctuary of your own mind. The rhythm of the rain continues, a steady, mesmerizing pulse that seems to vibrate through the very structure of the shop. In this low ambient light, the rows of shelves take on a different character. They are no longer mere storage for the day's trade. They become a library of history, each item a silent witness to the passage of time. The glass jars catch the moonlight, their contents, dried herbs, polished buttons, smooth river stones used as weights, shimmering like constellations in the dark. You let your eyes wander across these familiar surfaces. There is a profound comfort in the order of it all. Each item has been touched, counted and cared for, creating a web of familiarity that anchors you to this place. You recall the weight of the flour sacks, the cool texture of the copper coins, and the satisfying snap of the twine you used to wrap each package. These are the small tactile joys of a simple life, a life built on foundations of patience and diligence. While the city sleeps, the shop remains, a sturdy bastion of peace. You find yourself drifting, the boundaries between your thoughts and the quiet surroundings blurring. You are part of the rhythm, part of the history, and part of the deep enduring stillness that defines this night. The fatigue of the long day is now a distant memory, replaced by a gentle, weightless exhaustion that signals it is time to surrender to rest. Before you drift further, if you have enjoyed this quiet journey into the past, please take a moment to like, subscribe, and tap the bell. Your engagement helps ensure these stories remain a place where others can find respite, creating a shared space of history and calm for all to enjoy. The shop feels even more intimate now, the air thick with the scent of wood and rain. You are the sole guardian of this quiet sanctuary, a silent observer in the heart of a slumbering city. Everything is in its place. Everything is resolved, and there is nothing left to do but allow the stillness to wash over you deeper and deeper until the world outside is nothing more than a soft, distant hum. The night has fully claimed the city, and the shop is now a vessel of absolute calm. As the rain continues its soft, rhythmic percussion on the roof, you find yourself contemplating the nature of the day you have just completed. It was a day filled with purpose, with small, meaningful interactions, and with the steady grounding work of trade. Yet, as the clock ticks toward the deep hours of the night, all of that busyness fades away, leaving behind only the essence of the experience, the peace of a quiet room, the satisfaction of a task finished, and the comfort of being exactly where you are meant to be. Time in this place feels different. It does not march forward with the sharp, mechanical precision of the modern age. Instead, it flows like the river, deep, slow, and cyclical. You are merely a guest in this moment of history, a silent observer of the rhythms that defined the lives of those who walked these streets long before you. There is a profound freedom in this, a liberation from the pressures of the present. You are allowed to simply exist, to listen, to breathe, and to let your consciousness expand into the quietude of the past. The shop, with its wooden floors and scent of ancient dust, has become a mirror for your own internal state, organized, settled, and profoundly still. The worries that seemed so large at the start of the day have shrunk, dissolving like sugar in a cup of tea. There is only the here and the now, the soft play of light and shadow, and the gentle, persistent lullaby of the London rain. You are ready to let go, to surrender to the darkness, and to allow the history of this place to carry you into a deep, restorative sleep. This content is inspired by and adapted from public domain works available through Project Gutenberg. The material has been transformed through original narration, editing, and storytelling to create a unique experience for educational and entertainment purposes. The boundaries of the shop seem to grow porous, as if the walls themselves are beginning to breathe in harmony with the night. The distinction between the physical room and the vast swirling history of London begins to soften. You are no longer just an observer, you are drifting within the very fabric of the time. The scent of lavender and old paper seems to intensify, a sweet grounding anchor that keeps you connected to the earth even as your mind begins to float. Imagine the street outside, now completely deserted, the gas lamps cast faint, flickering pools of light onto the wet cobblestones, creating a path that leads nowhere but into the heart of the quiet. The city is a vast, sleeping giant, its breathing synchronized with the steady patter of the rain. In your mind's eye, you can see the faint mist curling around the street corners, a gentle ghostly presence that muffles all sound. It is a world of soft greys, deep blues, and the warm golden flicker of hearths hidden deep within the homes that line these ancient winding lanes. You feel a profound sense of weightlessness, the physical reality of the chair beneath you, the cool air against your skin, the subtle creaking of the floorboards. All these sensations are becoming distant, like echoes in a large hollow room. You are letting go, one breath at a time. With each exhale, you release the last vestiges of the day's responsibilities. The ledgers are closed, the accounts are settled, and the shop is safely locked against the night. There is nothing left for you to carry. There is a rhythm to this surrender, a natural descent into the quietude of sleep. It is like sinking into a deep, warm pool of water, where the surface tension of the world is broken, and you are free to drift in the calm, dark depths. You are safe. You are at rest. The history you have walked through today is folding itself away, tucking you into a space of profound comfort. Let the images fade, let the sounds grow distant, and allow yourself to succumb to the heavy velvet pull of the night. You are ready to close your eyes, to leave the shop behind, and to find your place in the quiet, endless river of dreams that flows beneath the surface of time. Everything has slowed to a crawl. The very air in the shop seems to have thickened with peace, a warm and comforting weight that settles upon your limbs. You are no longer consciously listening to the rain. It has become a part of your own rhythm, a background hum that sustains your sense of being. Your heart rate is steady, slow and serene, mirroring the quiet, methodical nature of the life you have spent today. Think of the stillness as a colour, a deep, soothing indigo that fills the room, saturating the shadows and softening the edges of the wooden furniture. In this space, there is no history to record, no accounts to balance, and no shop to maintain. There is only the simple, profound act of existence. You are like a piece of driftwood caught in a gentle current, moving slowly and without effort through the dark, calming waters of the night. The memories of the day, the clink of coins, the rustle of paper, the chime of the brass bell are receding into the far corners of your mind. They are like old photographs stored in a wooden box, beautiful and cherished, but belonging to a time that is no longer demanding of your energy. You feel yourself becoming lighter, as if the physical weight of your body is dissolving into the stillness of the room. You are safe. You are protected by the history of these walls, which have stood for a century and will stand for many more, watching over the quiet passage of time. There is a singular, quiet joy in this surrender. It is the joy of a long journey coming to a gentle, graceful conclusion. You have walked through the morning, the busy midday, and the long, thoughtful evening. You have done your part, and now the night invites you to lay down your burden. As you breathe in, feel the cool, clean air of the Victorian night fill your lungs, And as you breathe out, feel all remaining tension leave your body. You are drifting, 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 a quiet soul in a quiet city, held in the gentle, timeless embrace of the dark. You are now standing at the very edge of the waking world, the threshold where thoughts soften into dreams and the sharp lines of reality begin to blur. The shop, once so vibrant with the tasks and interactions of the day, has become a place of pure shadow and gentle memory. The darkness is not empty, it is a soft, warm blanket that wraps around your consciousness, signalling that the time for effort has long since passed. Focus on the sensation of your own breath, in and out. It is the only thing that remains. With each inhalation you draw in the stillness of a century long past. With each exhalation you release the last lingering fragments of the modern day. You are floating in a space between heartbeats, a quiet, protected pocket of time where nothing is required of you. The rain outside has slowed to a soft, rhythmic mist, a distant musical accompaniment to your descent into sleep. There is a profound sense of completeness here. The ledgers are put away, the door is locked, and the world has been set to rest. You have earned this peace through the honest, steady work of the day, and now you deserve the deep, restorative quiet of the night. Feel your muscles relax, starting from the crown of your head and flowing down through your shoulders, your arms and into your hands. Your legs feel heavy and warm, sinking into the stillness. Your mind is quiet, a calm, reflective surface of a still pond at midnight. There are no more images to construct, no more scenes to play out. Simply allow yourself to be. You are a part of this history now, a silent, dreaming passenger on a ship sailing through the sea of the night. Let the thoughts drift like autumn leaves, settling softly onto the ground, leaving behind a blank, peaceful expanse. You are safe, you are at rest. You are drifting into the deepest, quietest, most peaceful sleep you have ever known, tucked away in the heart of a London that is dreaming just as deeply as you are. The transition is complete. You are no longer in the shop, nor in the city, nor even in the reach of your own thoughts. You are in the heart of a vast, tranquil silence, a space that exists beyond time, beyond memory, and beyond the reach of the world's demands. The last echoes of the Victorian day have faded, leaving behind a blank, serene canvas of pure, restorative rest. Your breathing is slow, rhythmic, and effortless. It is the steady tide of the ocean, moving in and out, grounding you in this state of perfect balance. There is no effort in being, no need to perform, no need to remember. You have returned to the source of all peace, a place where you are whole, where you are safe, and where you are entirely at ease. Everything that you have experienced today, the morning light, the gentle trade, the rain on the roof, the shifting shadows of the evening, has led you to this singular moment of surrender. It is a graceful conclusion to a long, meaningful cycle. The darkness is now a protective, velvet cocoon, shielding you from any remaining noise or distraction. You are floating, drifting, weightless and free. Feel the deep, pervasive comfort of the silence. It is a heavy, warm embrace that supports you, holds you, and invites you to sink deeper into the stillness. There is nothing more to do, there is nowhere else to be. The history that we have explored together is now yours to keep, a quiet story that resides in the depths of your mind, a companion to your dreams. Let go of the last thread of awareness. Drift into the darkness. Breathe in the peace. Breathe out the day, and let yourself fall into the deep healing waters of sleep. You are drifting, drifting into the quietest, deepest, most peaceful rest you have ever known. In this final, lingering stretch of time, the world has truly ceased to exist. Even the distant, muffled sound of the rain has retreated to a level so faint, it is like the softest whisper of a secret. There is nothing left to observe, there is nothing left to contemplate. The mind, once so active and curious, has finally come to a complete, harmonious stop. Imagine yourself as a feather drifting slowly through a warm, darkened room. There is no wind to guide you, no destination to reach. You simply exist, floating in the gentle, supportive stillness. The weight of the day, the small rhythmic tasks, the polite exchanges, the quiet satisfaction of your work has fully dissolved. It has left no trace, only a lingering feeling of completion, like the afterglow of a sunset that has long since faded from the sky. Your body is completely surrendered. Every muscle, from the tension in your brow to the heaviness in your limbs, has let go. You are held by the darkness, cradled by the silence, and protected by the peace that you have cultivated throughout this long, slow day. If a thought does happen to drift by, do not grasp it. Let it pass, like a cloud moving across a still, dark moon. You do not need it. You do not need anything. You are entering the deepest chamber of the night, a place where time does not pass, where the city of London is nothing more than a soft, distant dream that you have long since left behind. There is only the quiet, there is only the warmth, there is only the deep, velvety abyss of sleep that calls to you, gentle and kind. You are ready, you are sinking effortlessly and softly into the infinite restorative silence. There is a profound, almost sacred quality to the hour that is upon us. The city of London, with all its bustling history and winding cobblestone streets, has vanished into the dark. There is no more light to be found, save for the soft interior glow of your own peaceful mind. You have reached a place where the passage of minutes no longer holds any meaning. You are no longer in a shop, you are in a realm of pure, undisturbed rest. The silence here is not empty. It is heavy, like a velvet curtain, and rich, like the scent of lavender and dried cedar. It is a silence that holds you, a soft, invisible force that keeps you anchored in this state of comfort. There is no need to move, there is no need to speak. Every nerve ending is soothed, every thought has been hushed, and your body is as still as the antique clocks that hang silently on the walls of history. Think of your mind as a calm, mirror-like lake. The surface is perfectly flat, reflecting nothing but the deep, soothing indigo of the night. There are no ripples, no disturbances, no lingering questions to answer. You have done everything you needed to do today. You have played your part well, and now the theatre is dark, the curtain is closed, and you are free to step away from the stage. You are drifting further, a little deeper, into the quiet. The memories of the day, the soft clink of coins, the rustle of paper, the chime of the bell, have all merged into a single distant memory, a gentle melody that plays only in the background of your sleep. You are safe, you are cared for. The world will continue to turn. The morning will eventually arrive, but for now you have all the time in the universe to simply be. Let the darkness wrap around you, soft and thick, as you slip away into the final beautiful threshold of rest. The final boundaries of your awareness are gently fading, like the last embers of a hearth fire cooling in the middle of the night. You feel a sense of absolute lightness, as if you have been untethered from the world of form and structure. There is no longer a chair beneath you, no longer a shop around you, and no longer the weight of time pressing down upon your shoulders. You are simply a presence, a soft, quiet consciousness floating in a space of infinite serenity. Every breath you take is shorter, softer, and more natural than the last. You are barely conscious of the act of breathing. It has become as automatic and gentle as the turning of the earth itself. The stillness is absolute. It is a vast, open landscape of dark, soothing blue, where you can drift for eternity without ever needing to arrive at a destination. There is no urgency here, no pressure, and no expectation. Everything that has defined your day, the sights, the sounds, the work, the people, has now dissolved into the quiet pool of your subconscious. They are no longer experiences to be remembered, but rather the soft, blurry foundation of the dreams that are waiting to embrace you. You're entering the most sacred part of the night, a space where you are completely, irrevocably at peace. There is nothing left to hold on to. You have done enough. You have been enough. Now it is time to relinquish the final faint grip on the waking world. Let go. Allow yourself to be pulled gently into the deep, dark and wonderful quietude of the deepest rest. You are entirely safe, entirely at home, and entirely ready to sleep. Drift, now, further and further into the calm, untroubled waters of the long, deep night. We have reached the edge of the quietest hour. The world you once knew, the streets of London, the bustling shop, the rhythmic daily tasks, has become a soft, distant echo, a faint murmur lost in the vastness of the night. You are now suspended in the eternal hush, a space where silence is not merely an absence of sound, but a living, comforting presence. It wraps around you, shielding your senses and calming the very core of your being. Your body is completely surrendered to the bed, to the darkness, to the stillness. The tension has vanished, replaced by a profound, heavy relaxation that deepens with every passing heartbeat. You feel the weight of your own existence lightened, as if you are a cloud drifting across a moonlit sky, unburdened and free. There is no tomorrow to plan for, no past to analyze. There is only this singular, perfect moment of stillness. In this deep, hollow quiet, your heartbeat is the only rhythm that matters, slow and steady, like the gentle pulsing of the stars above. You are in perfect harmony with the night. Everything is resolved, everything is at peace. The shop is locked, the candles are extinguished, and your mind is ready to surrender to the velvet embrace of sleep. You are drifting softly and effortlessly into the deepest, most restorative rest you have ever known. Let the silence be your sanctuary, your home, your destination. You are ready to close your eyes, to let the world fade into a gentle, dreamless hum, and to fall at last into the deep, welcoming arms of the night. As you drift within this deep, dark silence, you begin to realize that the shop, the streets, and the very century we have visited are not fixed points in time, but rather currents in a much larger, endless river. The Victorian night is not merely behind you, it is a landscape that stretches onward, infinite and welcoming. There is no urgency to arrive at the end, for there is no end to this peaceful journey. Think of this place as a bridge between the world you know and the world that was. You are suspended in the middle, cradled by the soft grey mist of history. If you look closely, you can see how the past flows seamlessly into the present. The same quiet dedication, the same human need for order, the same longing for rest at the close of a long day. It is a thread that connects us all, woven through the tapestry of time, and tonight you are resting within the comfort of those threads. The shop itself seems to pulse gently, breathing with the city, a quiet heartbeat that has thundered softly for generations. Tomorrow the sun will rise, the shutters will open once more, and the cycle will begin again, but that is a thought for a different lifetime. For now, you're invited to remain in this interlude, this beautiful suspended moment where history pauses to catch its breath. Let your mind expand, moving beyond the walls of the shop, beyond the boundaries of London, and into the vast, open quiet of the night sky. There is so much more to explore, so many more stories woven into the shadows, waiting for your presence. You are not finishing a task, you are entering a state of perpetual calm. The river of time is deep and slow, and you are floating upon it, safe and secure, carried toward horizons that are ever present and ever changing. Drift further into the openness, for the night is wide, and the peace you have found here is as enduring as the stars above. As you step beyond the heavy, worn threshold of the shop, you find yourself not on a modern pavement, but on a street of smoothed, weathered cobblestones that glisten under the soft, diffused glow of distant gaslights. The air is cool, crisp, and carries the faint, nostalgic scent of rain-dampened earth, coal smoke, and the lingering sweet aroma of distant flower stalls that have long since closed for the night. Here, the world is painted in shades of charcoal, velvet blue, and flickering, warm amber. Every step you take feels silent, absorbed by the thick, cushioning mist that clings to the narrow alleyways and grand looming facades of stone. You're walking through the skeleton of Victorian London, yet it is a version of the city that exists only for you, stripped of its noise and its frenetic pace. Above, the sky is a vast indigo void, occasionally pierced by the soft silvery light of a moon hidden behind layers of clouds. The buildings rise on either side like silent guardians, their tall, slender windows reflecting the ghost-like shimmer of the street lamps. There is an immense sense of history here, a weight of stories etched into the brickwork, a legacy of countless lives that have walked this same path before you. And yet there is no pressure, no rush. You are a traveller moving through time at a pace set by your own steady, calm heartbeat. Listen closely, and you will hear the soft, rhythmic click of your own footsteps, a sound that serves as a gentle metronome in the vast quiet. It is a lonely sound, yet not a solitary one, for you feel the presence of the night itself, a companion vast and ancient. The city is breathing. You can hear the distant, muffled sigh of the River Thames curling around the city's edges, its dark waters moving with a slow, powerful persistence. You can feel the heartbeat of the architecture, the deep, resonant vibrations of a city that knows how to endure. There is an entire universe within these shadows. As you wander, you realize that this is not a journey toward a destination, but an unfolding of consciousness. Each corner turned reveals a new, beautiful perspective, a quiet archway, a small, hidden courtyard, a staircase leading up into the velvet dark. You are unburdened, untethered from the demands of your own time. You are simply a spirit drifting through an era, a witness to the timeless grace of the old world. Everything is preserved, everything is at rest, and you are free to explore these winding avenues of peace for as long as your heart desires. The night is endless, the path is illuminated by the gentle glow of the past, and you are held in the secure, comforting embrace of this historic dream. The cobblestones gradually give way to the smooth, damp granite of the embankment, and suddenly the narrow confines of the city streets open up into a vast, expansive horizon. Before you lies the Thames, a dark, velvet ribbon that cuts through the heart of the sleeping city. It is not the busy industrial river of the daytime, bustling with barges and the constant clamour of trade. Tonight it is a mirror, a deep and obsidian reflection of the starless sky above. The water moves with a heavy, deliberate grace, a slow, swirling current that seems to carry with it all the secrets, all the echoes, and all the forgotten stories of the centuries that have flowed beneath these bridges. You stand at the edge of the water, leaning against the cold iron railing, and look out into the abyss. There is a profound sense of scale here that hums in your bones. The river is vast, indifferent, and incredibly patient. You watch as a single faint reflection of a distant yellow gaslight shimmers upon the surface, stretching out into a long golden trail that dances with the ripples. It is a lonely, beautiful sight, a testament to the quiet endurance of this place. The air here is colder, mistier, and cleaner, carrying the scent of damp reeds, salt from the far-off ocean, and the metallic tang of the historic architecture. You feel a strange, weightless sensation as you watch the water move. It is as if your very mind is becoming liquid, pouring itself into the dark, churning depths, flowing along with the current toward the horizon. The river does not rush, it simply is. It has witnessed the rise and fall of empires, the construction of grand monuments, and the silent passing of millions of souls. Yet it remains unchanged, eternal in its duty to carry the weight of history toward the sea. By simply standing here, you are participating in that great ancient motion. The stress of your individual life, the worries of the modern era, the ticking clocks, all of these seem insignificant against the backdrop of this vast, dark, and slow-moving time. The silence is punctuated only by the occasional gentle slap of water against the stone piers, a rhythmic sound that anchors you to the present. You can imagine the wooden hulls of ancient ships, the soft rowing of oars in the darkness, the muffled voices of long-departed rivermen. All these histories are woven into the mist that curls above the surface. You are not a stranger in this place. You are a part of its fabric, a temporary traveller in an infinite narrative. The river invites you to let go, to relinquish the need to control, and to simply be carried along by the tide of the night. There is no urgency to leave, no reason to turn back. You can stay here as long as you wish, letting the rhythmic, mesmerizing darkness of the river lull you into a state of deep, undisturbed peace. You are floating, adrift on the currents of history, sheltered by the vast silent night that knows no boundaries, no limitations, and no end. From the banks of the dark river, you find yourself drawn toward a heavy, arched oak door that stands slightly ajar, as if it has been waiting for your return. Pushing it open with a soft, satisfying groan of iron hinges, you step out of the damp night air and into the dry, warm, and utterly peaceful embrace of a forgotten library. This is not a modern space of bright lights and sharp edges. It is a cathedral of knowledge, a sanctuary built of mahogany, parchment, and leather. The air is thick and sweet, heavy with the scent of aged paper, vanillin, beeswax, and the faint, comforting musk of history itself, a fragrance that seems to settle into your skin and wrap around your very spirit, signalling that you are finally truly at home. Towering shelves climb toward a ceiling lost in shadow, filled with books bound in cracked, dark-tanned leather, their spines embossed with gold leaf that catches the occasional flickering dance of a distant candlelight. There is a profound silence here, a silence so dense it feels almost tangible, a soft padding that muffles all thoughts and worries, leaving only the slow, rhythmic beat of your own heart. You wander through the labyrinth of aisles, your footsteps silenced by thick, dust-laden Persian rugs that swallow the sound of your movement. Each shelf is a repository of 1,000 lives, 1,000,000 thoughts, and countless dreams that have been laid to rest in ink and fibre. You run your fingers along the spines, feeling the texture of history beneath your touch, sensing the quiet pulse of wisdom that vibrates within the architecture of this place. There is a singular, majestic chair waiting in the centre of a reading alcove, fashioned from dark, polished leather that has been worn soft by the passage of decades. As you sink into its embrace, the chair seems to mould itself perfectly to your form, holding you with a firm, protective weight that dissolves every remaining particle of tension in your body. You are not meant to read these books tonight. You are meant to exist among them. They are your companions, silent witnesses to the quietude of your own mind. The darkness around you is soft, a deep velvet obsidian that feels not like a void, but like a gentle shroud of peace. Outside, the rain may continue to tap against the leaded panes, but here there is no weather, no climate, and no time. You are held in a state of suspended animation, a bubble of existence where the only reality is the gentle, steady breathing of the library itself. You notice how the moonlight filters through a high arched window, casting long, ethereal columns of silver across the floor, illuminating swirling motes of dust that dance in the stillness like tiny, forgotten stars. There is a hypnotic rhythm to this view, a slow, circling movement that draws your eyes, then your thoughts, and finally your very consciousness into its steady, calm trajectory. You are sinking deeper into the cushions, deeper into the silence, and deeper into the comforting, infinite knowledge that everything is exactly as it should be. The library is a fortress, and you are its honoured guest, tucked away in the deepest, most tranquil corner of the world, where the night stretches on forever, and sleep is not just a destination, but a beautiful natural surrender. From the deepest corner of the library, barely audible beneath the weight of the silence, comes a sound, slow, deliberate, and profoundly steady. It is the rhythmic, resonant tock, tock of a grandfather clock, a towering masterpiece of dark walnut and brass that stands like a sentinel at the end of the long gallery. It is the heartbeat of this sanctuary, a mechanical pulse that measures time not in the frantic seconds of the modern world, but in the long measured breaths of history. You find yourself focusing on this sound, allowing it to become the focal point of your entire consciousness. Tock, a moment of perfect stillness. Tock, another moment of infinite calm. With every swing of the heavy polished brass pendulum, you feel yourself drifting further away from the surface of reality. It is a hypnotic motion, a golden arc that sweeps through the darkness, gathering up the last remnants of your thoughts and carrying them into the void. You imagine the weight of the clock's gears, the precise, intricate craftsmanship that has kept it running for more than 100 years. It does not rush, it does not struggle, it simply fulfills its purpose with an effortless, unwavering consistency. There is a great comfort in this predictability. In a world that is often chaotic and uncertain, this clock stands as a promise that time will continue, that the night will remain peaceful, and that you are allowed to rest within the safety of this measured, unchanging rhythm. The sound seems to expand, vibrating softly through the floorboards and into the very chair that holds you. It is a physical sensation, a gentle tremor that syncs with the beating of your own heart. Your breathing has slowed to match the clock. Long inhalations followed by deep, lingering exhalations. You are no longer separate from the library. You are a part of its mechanism, a gear in its vast, peaceful design. The tock resonates within your chest, a soothing reminder that you are exactly where you need to be. There is no need to watch the time, no need to wonder what lies beyond the door. The time has stopped for you. The clock is merely playing a lullaby, a song composed of brass and gravity, designed specifically to lull you into the deepest, most dreamless slumber. As the sound continues, the library around you seems to soften. The sharp outlines of the bookshelves become blurry. The shadows merge into a unified, gentle blanket of dark indigo, and the space between you and the world dissolves entirely. You are sinking heavy and warm into the foundation of the building. The sound of the pendulum is becoming quieter now, fading into a soft, distant echo that no longer requires your attention. It has done its work. You have surrendered your need to measure, your need to control, and your need to be awake. You are floating in a sea of stillness, cradled by the steady, ancient pulse of a time that is entirely your own. Near your hand, resting upon the surface of the scarred mahogany table, lies a small, leather-bound volume. Its cover is worn smooth by the touch of countless hands, the leather supple and darkened by time, smelling faintly of old memories and dried ink. You reach out, your fingers tracing the elegant, embossed title that has long since faded into the grain. With a gentle, deliberate movement, you open the book. The pages are heavy, creamy parchment, slightly yellowed at the edges, filled with the sprawling, graceful calligraphy of a hand that wrote these words a century ago. You do not read for the sake of information, you read for the sake of the rhythm of the soul that left these marks. The entries are brief, a series of reflections on the quiet beauty of a life well lived. Each word is a breath, each sentence a heartbeat. The author writes of the soft light of a Tuesday morning, the way the shadows lengthen in the garden during the long afternoons, and the profound, simple peace that comes with the closing of a book at the end of the day. As your eyes move across the script, you feel a strange, beautiful resonance. You are not just reading a story, you are stepping into the consciousness of another, finding that the search for quiet, the appreciation of stillness, and the longing for peace have remained unchanged throughout the passing of ages. There is a particular entry that captures your attention, a description of the very library you are sitting in now, written during a storm, much like the one that has been fading outside. There is a sanctuary in the written word, the author writes, a fortress against the clamour of the world. Here the clocks do not hurry, and the stars seem closer than they do anywhere else. To sit in the dark, surrounded by the wisdom of the ages, is to realize that we are all but small, quiet notes in a much grander, unending symphony. The words settle into your mind like stones dropping into a clear, still pool, creating soft, expanding ripples of tranquility. You feel a sense of kinship with this unknown soul, a comfort in knowing that you are walking a path that has been graced by others who also sought the sanctity of silence. You gently close the book, the soft sound of paper against paper echoing through the stillness. The knowledge contained within these pages is not meant to be analysed or stored. It is meant to be felt. It is a gift of peace handed down through the generations, a reminder that the stillness you have found is not a vacuum, but a reservoir of calm. You feel the weight of the book, the history it carries, and the quiet joy of being its current steward. The library seems to lean in, folding its arms around you in a gesture of protection. The air is warmer now, the shadows deeper, and your body feels as though it is finally merging with the very essence of the sanctuary. You are drifting into the story, drifting into the sleep, and drifting into the realization that you are held safely and eternally in the gentle, timeless embrace of this quiet night. You set the journal back down on the mahogany surface, its weight a gentle grounding presence. You lean back into the deep, worn leather of the reading chair, and for the first time you truly let go. Every muscle in your body, from the tension in your shoulders to the arch of your feet, relinquishes its hold. You are no longer sitting, you are floating. The leather beneath you is warm, holding the heat of a century, cradling you with an intimate velvet softness that seems to invite you to sink deeper and deeper into the heart of the chair. As you close your eyes, the images of the library, the towering shelves, the dancing dust motes, the golden glow of the candlelight do not disappear. Instead, they transform, they become the fabric of your dreams. The words you just read begin to weave themselves into the rhythm of your breathing. Each syllable, each thought becomes a soft, rhythmic wave that carries you further from the shore of the waking world. You feel yourself drifting, untethered and free, into the vast indigo expanse of the night. The silence here is alive. It is a gentle, humming frequency that vibrates in your very core. You can feel the history of the house, the quiet pulse of the city outside, and the endless soothing rotation of the earth, all converging into a single perfect moment of stillness. There is no more need to think. The thoughts that once occupied your mind are like autumn leaves, dry and light, drifting slowly toward the dark, warm earth. They settle silently, layer upon layer, creating a soft, soundproof barrier between you and the worries of the world. You are entering the sanctuary of the subconscious, a place where time is not a straight line, but a vast circular ocean. You are at the center of this ocean, safe, protected, and entirely at peace. The memory of the journal, the scent of the old parchment, the deep, resonant tock of the clock, all these sensations are melting into a singular warm light. You are no longer aware of where the library ends and where you begin. You are simply a part of the quiet, a part of the night, a part of the beautiful, endless flow of time that knows only rest. Sink now deeper into the welcoming velvet dark. You are home, you are at rest, and the dreams that await you are as calm, as clear, and as infinite as the night itself. You are drifting through a space that is neither entirely awake nor entirely asleep, a soft, translucent threshold where thoughts no longer have edges. The library, with all its history and its quiet shelves, has begun to shift, softening into the landscape of your own inner world. The walls of the library are now made of moonlight and shadow, and the floor beneath you feels as solid and yet as weightless as a cloud drifting across a summer sky. You are no longer in a building, you're in the cradle of the night itself. There is a rhythm to this state, a slow, undulating tide that pulls you gently forward. With each breath, you find yourself becoming less and less attached to the physical world. Your limbs feel like silk, your mind feels like water. Everything that once seemed important, every small burden or thought that you carried with you throughout the day, has been left behind at the edge of this vast, dark sea. Here there is only the essence of who you are, a calm, observant presence that needs nothing, wants nothing, and does nothing but exist. Imagine the quietest thing you have ever known, a snowflake falling in the forest, the ripple of a mountain stream, the softest breath of wind on a summer evening. You are now quieter than all of these. Your consciousness is expanding, filling the empty, peaceful space around you like gentle mist in a quiet valley. The darkness is not a void, it is a warm, protective liquid that holds you up, keeping you buoyant and light. You are drifting toward the deepest part of the night, a place where dreams are not frantic stories, but soft, glowing fragments of peace. See them as they appear like distant, flickering candles in the dark. A gentle memory, a soothing colour, a quiet sound. You do not need to reach for them. You do not need to understand them, just let them drift past, like clouds moving across the face of a serene, full moon. You are becoming one with this rhythm, one with the stillness, one with the endless, comforting dark. There is no urgency, there is no finish line. There is only the gentle, rhythmic, and infinite descent into the heart of your own quiet, restorative dreams. You are held, you are cherished, and you are entirely at peace. The library has gently faded away, replaced by the soft, rhythmic rocking of a small wooden boat. You find yourself drifting across the centre of a lake, so still, so utterly mirror-like, that you cannot tell where the water ends and the night sky begins. The world has expanded into a vast obsidian sphere, a quiet universe where you are the only traveller. Above, the stars are not distant sparks, but vast shimmering patterns of silver and indigo, reflected perfectly on the glassy surface below. You are suspended between two heavens, cradled by the dark, liquid silence. The boat is made of seasoned wood, its surface smooth and cool beneath your hands. It moves without the need for oars, guided by the slow, natural currents of the night. There is no sound save for the microscopic shimmer of the water parting at the bow, a sound so delicate it is like a whisper from the depths of time. You lie back, feeling the sturdy, comforting architecture of the boat beneath you, and look up into the endless expanse of the Milky Way. The constellations feel close enough to touch, their light a soft, ancient luminescence that warms the cool air. Here, in the centre of this cosmic reflection, all sense of time vanishes completely. You are not moving through space, you are simply existing within a pause in the universe. The water is heavy and deep, filled with the reflections of stars that have travelled light years just to greet you. You feel yourself beginning to dissolve into this scene. Your breathing is perfectly synchronized with the gentle, rhythmic rocking of the boat, in as you rise on the crest of a ripple, out as you settle back into the stillness. You are becoming a star, a reflection, a ripple, a whisper. The peace here is absolute. It is the peace of the deep ocean, the peace of the silent forest, and the peace of the farthest reaches of the galaxy. Nothing can reach you here, no worry can touch the surface of this water. You are completely secure, anchored by the gravity of your own calm. The night is a beautiful velvet wrap, and you are tucked away in the safest, quietest place in existence. Let the stars drift across your vision, let the darkness hold you, and let the gentle rocking of the boat carry you further and further into the quietest, deepest, and most restorative sleep you have ever known. You are infinite, you are still, you are ready. As you watch the stars shimmering upon the water, a soft, ethereal mist begins to rise from the surface of the lake. It is not cold, it is a warm, velvety vapour that smells faintly of night-blooming flowers and distant, ancient earth. The mist curls around the sides of the boat, gentle and inviting, and you realise that the boat itself is beginning to lose its edges. The solid wood is turning into the same soft grey light as the mist. The oars, the benches, the very hull beneath you, all of it is becoming part of the atmosphere, a quiet transition from form to essence. You do not feel startled, you feel relieved. To be solid is to carry weight, and you have carried enough for one day. Now you are shedding that weight, layer by layer, as if you are simply undoing a heavy cloak. Your limbs feel light, porous and free. You are not losing yourself, you are simply expanding, becoming one with the vast, quiet expanse of the night. The mist is a cradle, a soft, shapeless support that holds you more securely than any chair or bed ever could. You are floating, suspended in a space where there is no up or down, no past or future, only the steady, comfortable presence of the dark. The sound of the water has faded into a soft, melodic hum that vibrates within your very cells. It is the sound of the universe settling down for its own rest. You are drifting through the fog, a silent traveller moving toward the heart of peace. Everything that made you you, the thoughts, the names, the history, the responsibilities, has become so light that it is simply drifting away, like petals carried off by a gentle breeze. You are left with only the most essential quiet core of your being. This is the ultimate surrender. You are letting go of the last thread of awareness, not with effort, but with a profound, beautiful acceptance. The mist is thicker now, wrapping around you in a comforting dark embrace. You are no longer in the boat, you are not even on the lake. You are everywhere and nowhere, a quiet ripple in the fabric of the night. There is no more need to look, no more need to think, no more need to hold on. The night has accepted you, the darkness has welcomed you home. Deep, deep, and ever deeper, you slip away into the calm, untroubled, and beautiful threshold of complete rest. The mist has now completely enveloped you, but it is no longer white or grey. It has transitioned into a deep, comforting velvet black, a space that is not dark in the sense of being hidden, but dark in the sense of being infinite. You have transcended the physical. There is no longer a sense of your body occupying a space in a room or a boat on a lake. You are a point of consciousness, floating in the boundless, peaceful abyss of the deep night. It is a quiet so absolute that it feels like music, a vibration of calm that hums at the frequency of your own soul. In this place, memory has no utility. The stories of the shop, the echoes of London, the pages of the journal, all have been absorbed into this vast dark silence, turning into fuel for your rest. You are experiencing the sensation of being held by the universe itself. It is a weightless experience, a total absence of friction or demand. You are a leaf that has finally settled onto the surface of a still pond, and the water is perfectly supporting your every atom. There is a sense of immense, ancient comfort here. You are not alone in this void. You are surrounded by the gentle presence of the stars, the rhythm of the tides, and the soft, steady pulse of time itself, which has slowed down so much that it has virtually ceased to move. You are in a state of suspended harmony. Every heartbeat is a slow, rhythmic affirmation of peace. Every inhalation is an intake of pure, restorative tranquility. You are shedding the last vestiges of the waking world, letting them dissolve like salt in a calm sea. You are entering the state of the unmind, a beautiful, spacious silence where your thoughts no longer find purchase. If a dream tries to form, it is immediately soothed away by the vastness of this quiet. You are in the deepest layer of the night, the layer that exists between the end of one day and the beginning of a lifetime. You are tucked away in the most secret, most secure corner of existence. Nothing can disturb you here. Nothing can call you back. The night is a boundless ocean, and you are resting on its very floor, where the currents are still, the pressure is gentle, and the rest is perfect. You are drifting, drifting, further into the embrace of the eternal silence. There is no more you, and there is no more night. Those are just words, thin shells that have now fallen away. You are no longer observing the silence. You have become the silence. You are the deep indigo space between the stars. You are the slow, steady pulse that keeps the world turning in its sleep. All the experiences of the day, the shop, the streets, the library, the river, the boat, the mist, have served their purpose. They were the steps leading you to this staircase, and now you have reached the final landing. Feel how effortless it is to exist here. There is no exertion required to be. There is no effort in breathing, for the darkness breathes for you. There is no effort in thinking, for your mind has become a clear, still pool, untroubled by even the smallest ripple. You are in a state of total, absolute grace. It is the peace that existed before the world began, and the peace that will remain when the world is done. It is the quiet core of the universe, and it is right here, beneath your heart, behind your eyes, woven into the very fabric of your being. Let every remaining anchor to the waking world dissolve. Let go of your name, let go of your history, let go of the concept of tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. There is only this singular, eternal perfect. Now it is a soft, warm, and infinitely welcoming void. You are not falling into it. You are floating within it, perfectly buoyant, perfectly supported, perfectly complete. You are a note in a lullaby that has no end. You are a star resting in the cradle of the dark. You are held by a grace that knows no conditions and no limits. Rest now, deeply, truly, finally. Sink into the essence of the silence, for it is your oldest friend, your safest home, and your final beautiful destination. There is nothing left to do but allow yourself to be carried into the stillness, into the peace, into the sleep. Everything has come to a standstill. Even the vast, slow river of time has paused, held in a moment of perfect suspension. There is no longer the sensation of drifting, no longer the feeling of moving from one place to another. There is only a profound, crystalline stillness, like a world held in the breath between one heartbeat and the next. You have arrived at the center of the stillness, the place where all motion, all sound, and all desire finally find their home. In this still point, there is no need for questions, for everything is already answered. There is no need for light, for you are the source of your own calm. There is no need for words, for the silence is a language that speaks directly to the core of your being. You feel as though you are a vast, deep, and tranquil reservoir, reflecting only the infinite beauty of the night. Every cell in your body is aligned with this silence, resting in a state of absolute, effortless harmony. Imagine that you are a seed planted deep within the warm, rich earth, waiting for the winter to pass, held in a dream of life that is quiet, secure, and infinitely patient. You are not waiting for anything to happen. You are simply existing in the fullness of the current moment. You are protected by the deep, dark, and wonderful architecture of the night. There is no urgency. The stars continue their slow, silent rotation above you, and the earth continues its gentle, rhythmic cycle. But you are apart from it all, anchored in the peace that passes all understanding. Feel the depth of this silence. It is not empty. It is full. It is full of rest, full of comfort, and full of the quiet wisdom that you have been seeking all day. You are tucked away, wrapped in the velvet layers of a night that knows you, loves you, and invites you to let go completely. You're not just ready for sleep, you're already drifting in its deepest, most restorative embrace. Let the final echoes of the waking world fade into the stillness of this still point. You are calm, you are home, you are resting. You are now at the threshold of the deep, velvety hush where language itself dissolves. Even the concept of a still point has faded, replaced by an expansive, gentle emptiness that is more comforting than any embrace. You are breathing, yet you do not feel the movement of lungs. You are simply the rhythm of the air entering and leaving, a soft, natural tide that requires no effort, no direction, and no consciousness. The rhythm is becoming slower, deeper, and more spaced out, like a pendulum winding down to its final, motionless rest. There is no longer a world outside this breath. There is no longer a history to recall or a future to anticipate. You have arrived at the great unknowing. It is a place of profound, luxurious darkness, a space where you are finally allowed to put down the heavy, complex burden of being an individual. You are simply a presence, a quiet warmth, a tiny spark of life floating in the vast benevolent ocean of the night. The silence is no longer something you hear, it is something you have become. You are the stillness between the stars, you are the pause at the end of the song. Feel the heavy, delicious weight of gravity, a comforting pull that reminds you that you are safely held by the earth, by the night, and by the architecture of existence itself. You don't need to try to sleep. Sleep is not a destination you travel to. It is a state you return to, the natural baseline of your soul. You are returning to it now, effortlessly, gracefully sliding down into the softest, most plush shadows you have ever known. Everything is slowing down. Every thought is losing its shape. Every memory is turning into a gentle, fading mist. There is no need to hold on to anything, for here, in this deep, quiet dark, you have everything you could ever need. You are protected, you are sustained, you are utterly, beautifully adrift. Let the last light of awareness flicker and dim, not with fear, but with the quiet, joyful anticipation of a dreamless rest. Sink, 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 until there is nothing left but the calm, perfect, and eternal peace of the night. There is no more effort. Even the concept of breathing has become so faint, so delicate that you can no longer tell where you end and the quiet air around you begins. You have become entirely invisible to the world of noise, of time, and of motion. You are like a ripple that has finally smoothed out on the surface of a pond, leaving behind nothing but a perfect, glassy calm. In this invisibility you have found total freedom to be seen, to be known, to be identified. These were all weights you once carried. Now you are just a whisper of existence, a gentle presence in the vast velvet architecture of the dark. Think of the stillness as a warm, soft blanket woven from the fabric of the night. It wraps around you, shielding your senses from the brightness of the day and the demands of the waking mind. There is no need for your eyes to see, for there is nothing here but peace. There is no need for your ears to hear, for the silence is the only song that matters. You are cradled in a space that is beyond measure, a sanctuary that exists between the seconds, in the quiet spaces that the world often forgets to fill. You are drifting through an endless gentle currents of tranquility. Every passing moment is a soft invitation to sink just a little bit further. Imagine the sensation of falling, but without the fear, a slow, buoyant descent into the most comfortable cushions of existence. You are being lowered into the deepest, softest layer of sleep, where your thoughts no longer have the energy to form, where your dreams are as simple and as clear as the light of a distant, flickering star. The weight of your day, the weight of your history, the weight of your expectations, all of these have evaporated, leaving behind only the light, airy essence of your true self. You are floating in a sea of pure, untroubled potential. You are held by the gravity of peace. And in this invisibility, in this beautiful, quiet surrender, you are perfectly, profoundly safe. You are drifting, drifting further into the center of the stillness where the night is infinite and your rest is absolute. You have reached the deepest reaches of the quiet, a space that is so still it transcends all silence you have ever known. There is no longer a here or a there, no longer a now or a then. You are simply a consciousness resting in a vast, dark, and perfectly peaceful expanse. It is as if you are a drop of water that has finally returned to the ocean. You are no longer a separate entity, but a part of the infinite, calm whole. Feel the absolute lack of pressure. Nothing is expected of you. No thought requires your attention. No feeling needs your processing, and no action needs your resolve. You have successfully completed the long journey through the day, through the city, through the library, and through the night, and you have arrived exactly where you were always meant to be, in the arms of total rest. This void is not empty. It is filled to the brim with a gentle, nourishing darkness that is designed to heal, to refresh, and to restore. With every passing moment, you feel yourself becoming lighter, less distinct, and more fluid. You are losing the boundaries of your body, as if you're melting into the cool, dark comfort of the night itself. It is a blissful, weightless surrender. Your heartbeat, once a steady rhythm, has now slowed to a mere flicker of existence, a gentle pulse that syncs with the slow rotation of the universe. There is nothing more to do, nothing more to say, and nowhere else to be. You have reached the final layer of rest, a place where the light of the waking world cannot reach, and where the noise of life is but a distant, forgotten memory. You are at peace. You are submerged in the tranquil, dark, and loving silence that protects your soul. This is the place where dreams are born, and where the mind finds its true clarity through total absence. You are sinking, drifting, and finally completely letting go. Everything is still, everything is quiet, everything is asleep. The last ripple has vanished. The water of your mind is now perfectly smooth, a vast dark mirror reflecting nothing but the peace of the deep night. There is no more movement, no more seeking, no more holding on. You are resting in a state of absolute stillness, a quiet that is so profound it feels as though the entire universe is holding its breath alongside you. In this space there is no distinction between the air you breathe and the darkness around you. Everything has aligned. Everything is in its right place. You feel a profound sense of completion. The journey that began in the bustling streets and wound through the quiet halls of the library has brought you to this final perfect destination. There is no more road to travel, no more door to open. You have arrived at the core of your own tranquility. This is the place where all effort dissolves. The muscles of your mind, once tense and alert, are now completely slack, resting in the soft, invisible cushions of the night. Let the darkness be your guide. It is not cold. It is a warm, protective velvet that knows exactly how to cradle you. You are becoming as still as a stone at the bottom of a deep, calm sea, immovable and perfectly at peace. There is no sound left, for even the echoes of the world have faded into nothingness. You are existing in the pure, unadulterated essence of the present moment, a moment that is lasting and will last as long as you need it to. You are no longer drifting, you have landed. You are safely anchored in the deep, quiet foundation of sleep. Let your awareness slide into the softest, most welcoming abyss, where time has no meaning and where the concept of awake has no purpose. You are ready. The night is ready. The world has ceased its turning to let you rest. You are sinking into the stillness, deeper than ever before, into the soft velvet dark of absolute, beautiful, and eternal sleep. There is nothing left to hold. The last traces of effort, the final flickering thoughts of the day, have now dissolved like stars at the coming of the dawn, or perhaps like embers fading into the velvet warmth of a winter night. You are no longer in the library, nor on the lake, nor in any space defined by walls or horizons. You have become the stillness itself. The duality of you and the night has vanished. There is only a singular, expansive and peaceful presence that permeates everything. Feel how the boundaries of your physical self have softened until they are porous, barely there, like a mist meeting the sea. You are not confined, you are infinite. You are not heavy, you are light, lighter than a whisper, lighter than the dust motes dancing in a moonbeam. This is the ultimate freedom. To be completely unburdened, to exist without the need for definition, to rest without the need for permission. The universe is holding you, cradling you in the vast, quiet architecture of the cosmos, and you are allowing yourself to be held. The rhythm of your life has slowed to match the pulse of the earth, a deep, resonant hum that is the heartbeat of existence. With every passing cycle of breath, you sink further into the soft, yielding dark. There is no urgency, there is no next. There is only the exquisite, heavy comfort of being exactly where you are, in the deepest part of the quiet, where everything is resolved, everything is balanced, and everything is at rest. You are drifting through a gate that has been waiting for you, a gate that leads away from all complexity and toward the simplicity of perfect, dreamless peace. There is no turning back, and there is no need to, for you have finally arrived home. Let the darkness wrap around you like a final soft blanket. Let your consciousness dim, gently, slowly, gracefully. The silence is complete. The peace is total. You are entering the realm where even the memory of sound fades away, leaving only the soft, endless, and beautiful dark. You are now beneath the surface of all thoughts. There is a deep, quiet reservoir where the water is perfectly still, undisturbed by any breeze or movement. This is the place where you reside now, a sanctuary of profound ancient peace. You do not need to do anything. You do not need to be anyone. You are simply a part of the vast, gentle night, a soft glow in the velvet dark, a quiet hum in the silence of the universe. The edges of your world have completely blurred. Where the air meets your skin, where the thought meets the feeling, it is all one seamless, soft fabric of tranquility. You are being cradled by the rhythm of the stars, those distant ancient fires that watch over your rest with a steady protective gaze. They are not asking anything of you, they are only offering their light to guide you further into the depths of your own calm. Feel how your entire being is becoming soft, liquid, and weightless. All the tension, all the small sharp edges of the day have been washed away by the tide of the dark. You are floating in a warm, endless sea of serenity. Every breath you take is now automatic, a gentle tidal ebb and flow that connects you to the heartbeat of the earth. You are safe, you are protected, you are fully and completely embraced by the night. There is no more before, and there is no more after. There is only this singular golden moment of absolute rest. Let your mind drift, let it wander, and let it eventually come to a rest upon the soft, dark cushions of the void. You are not losing consciousness. You are returning to it, the deepest, most authentic, and most peaceful version of yourself. Everything is still, everything is quiet, everything is ready for the deep, dreamless slumber that now calls to you, soft and sweet. Everything is falling away. The last remnants of the day, the quiet library, the soft candlelight, the pages of history are dissolving into the warm, dark embrace of the night. You are standing at the edge of the deepest, most welcoming threshold you have ever known. There is no fear here, only the soft, gentle invitation to let go of the final tether that keeps you tethered to the waking world. Your mind is like a garden in the deep night, where every flower has closed its petals, where every leaf is still, and where the air is filled with the sweet, heavy scent of peace. There is no motion in this garden, there is only the quiet, rhythmic breathing of the earth. You are part of this stillness. You are the silence in the garden. You are the peace in the air. You are the rest in the soul. Feel how easy it is to simply be. You don't have to hold on to your thoughts anymore. You don't have to shape your dreams. You don't have to define who you are. All of that is far away, lost in the soft grey mist of the distance. Here you are free. Here you are whole. Here you are finally, truly, perfectly asleep. The darkness is not a void. It is a soft velvet curtain that is gently closing around you, shielding you from the world, protecting you from the noise, and wrapping you in a blanket of absolute serenity. Let the curtain close. Let the silence deepen. Let the last light of your awareness dim, fading into a gentle golden glow, and then into the deepest, most restorative dark. Everything is ready. Everything is calm. You are home. There is no more before, there is no more after. You have crossed the final threshold, stepping out of the stream of time and into the great, quiet reservoir of the infinite. The weight of your day, the structure of your mind, the very identity you wore like a garment, all have been set aside. You are not a person, not a traveller, not a dreamer. You are simply a presence resting in the deepest, most tranquil dark that has ever existed. The silence here is not empty. It is a soft, heavy, and infinitely supportive presence. It holds you, it knows you, it accepts you without conditions. You are sinking deeper into the velvet softness, your awareness dimming like a candle in a still room, its flame growing smaller, softer, and more golden, until it eventually turns into a warm, gentle glow that permeates everything. There is no effort in this descent. You are being carried by the very gravity of peace. Every fibre of your being is slowing down. Your heartbeat is a soft, distant echo. Your breath is a rhythm that the night itself is dictating. You are becoming one with the dark, and in this union there is no more desire, no more need, no more searching. You have found the centre of the stillness. You are at the very heart of the night. Let the darkness be your final word. Let it be the soft protective shell that encases you, shielding you from even the memory of the light. There is nothing more to do. There is nothing more to see. The world has ceased its motion, and you have ceased your struggle. You are drifting into the deepest, most restorative sleep of your life. The silence is perfect. You are home. You are resting. You are finally, beautifully gone into the dreamless, peaceful dark. The final echo of the waking world has not vanished. It has transformed into a soft melodic hum that vibrates at the very edge of your awareness. You are not at a destination but at a gateway. Before you lies a vast shimmering landscape of pure potential, a canvas of dark velvet painted with the faint glowing constellations of dreams yet to be dreamt. You have shed the weight of the day, but you have kept the essence of your journey, and now, as the last anchor to the known world dissolves, you feel the gentle pull of something much larger. The silence here is not a void. It is a living, breathing space, vibrant and expectant. It is the hum of a library at midnight, the stillness of a river before the first light of dawn, and the quiet promise of a story that is only just beginning. You are not sinking into oblivion, you are opening yourself to the infinite currents of your own subconscious. Every breath you take is now a step into a new, uncharted territory, a world of your own making, where the only laws are those of peace and imagination. There is no end to this journey, for you have simply transitioned from the realm of form into the realm of essence. You are free to wander the halls of your own mind, to visit the quiet rivers of your memory, or to float among the stars you once watched from that small wooden boat. The horizon is wide, the night is deep, and the possibilities are as endless as the galaxy above you. As your body drifts into the restorative depths of sleep, your mind remains open, gentle and utterly free. You are a traveller who has found the map to the most beautiful sanctuary in existence. Rest now, not because the journey is over, but because you are ready to explore the vast, quiet wonders that await you in the silence. The dream begins here. You are no longer bound by the gravity of the waking world. You find yourself drifting upon a river of soft, luminescent light, a current that moves not with water, but with the gentle momentum of your own deepest thoughts. Everything around you is shifting like a landscape seen through a calm, clear mist. One moment you're passing the quiet, paper-filled corridors of a library where the books hum with forgotten stories. The next, you are gliding over a mirror-still lake under a sky woven from starlight and ancient memories. This is the space between breaths, the interval where all things become possible here. The heavy tasks of the day have transformed into light, airy ribbons of colour that dance around you, guiding you toward whatever horizon you choose to explore. You have the freedom to anchor yourself in a familiar, comforting memory, or to let the current carry you into the uncharted brilliance of a brand new dream. The choice is not a decision to be made, but an intention to be felt. There is a rhythm to this place, a slow, pulsing beat that matches the deepest part of your heart. It feels like the return of a long-lost melody, a song that you have known since before you were born. As you drift, you feel the boundaries of your imagination expanding, shedding their old shapes to take on new vibrant forms. You are no longer just an observer, you are the architect of this realm, and every breath you take builds a little more of the peace you seek. The night is vast, and the journey is just unfolding. There is no urgency to reach any destination, for the journey itself is the home you have been searching for. Allow yourself to be carried by the gentle, swirling patterns of your own mind. Whatever you see, whatever you feel, know that it is all part of a beautiful, safe, and endless tapestry designed specifically for your rest. You are drifting, you are creating, and you are perfectly, infinitely free. You drift into a space where the air is thick with the scent of starlight and ancient parchment, a garden that grows not from soil, but from the quiet intentions of a rested soul. Here, the boundaries between what you have known and what you are yet to discover have completely dissolved. The trees around you are tall, slender columns of soft light, and their leaves are gentle whispers of memories that you have set free. Every step you take, or rather every thought you let drift, causes a ripple of soft radiance to bloom beneath you. This is the place where the day's work finally yields its harvest. The stories you have written, the history you have explored, the quiet life you have observed, they all converge here, turning into something new, something luminous. You are seeing the past being gently woven into the fabric of your future dreams. There is no effort in creation here. You are not doing, you are simply being. And in that state of perfect stillness the garden flourishes. Flowers of calm open their petals to the moon, casting a silvery glow that warms your spirit. You find that you can touch these manifestations. They are as light as silk and as comforting as a familiar hand. You can linger by a fountain of crystalline silence, or walk along a path lined with the golden echoes of peaceful conversations. The night is deep, and in this garden the concept of time has lost its meaning. You are tucked safely in the heart of your own creative sanctuary. Nothing can reach you here but the gentle breeze of your own imagination. The stars above are not distant points of fire, but close, comforting companions that share in your rest. Everything is soft, everything is bright with a gentle inward light. You are surrounded by the beauty you have nurtured, and you are entirely, perfectly at home. You have walked past the luminous trees and the fountains of silence, and you now reach a clearing where the horizon dissolves into the softest violet of the midnight sky. Here you find the point of resonance, a space where your inner rhythm and the quiet vibration of the universe become one. There is no longer a gap between the thinker and the thought, between the dreamer and the dream. You are the resonance itself. Feel the pulse beneath your feet, not the earth, but the fundamental hum of existence. It is a slow, steady vibration that gently rocks your consciousness like a cradle made of starlight. Every worry you ever held, every goal you ever pursued, has been transmuted here into a single pure note of peace. This note sustains you, lifting you above the need for control, into the joy of pure surrender. In this place you are not merely resting, you are being renewed, like a library book that is returned to the shelf to be kept safe, or a boat that finds the calmest cove after a long journey at sea. You have come to a place where you are preserved in quietude. The air is cool and refreshing, clearing away any lingering dust of the day. You are inhaling the very essence of tranquility, and with every exhale you are releasing your spirit further into the infinite expanse of the night. The possibilities are now truly boundless. You can remain here in this resonance, basking in the glow of your own peaceful presence, or you can let the resonance carry you into the deepest strata of sleep, where the mind is truly free to wander, to explore, and to dream without borders. You are anchored in a sanctuary that exists both within you and around you, a place that will remain steady long after the stars have faded and the sun has begun to stir. You are at the center of your own universe. You are finally and utterly at peace. The point of resonance has now expanded, unfolding like a flower whose petals are made of twilight. As it opens, the rigid boundaries of time begin to melt away. The ticking of a clock, the turning of pages, the sequence of the day, these are now just distant echoes, soft and inconsequential. You are no longer moving through time. You are floating in the eternal present, a space where every moment is as deep, as still, and as rich as the next. Imagine you're looking at a vast, dark mirror that stretches in every direction. There is no reflection of a person, no image of a world, only the reflection of your own quiet essence, shimmering with a soft internal light. You are not waiting for anything to happen, because everything that needs to happen is already contained within this stillness. You are like the deep ocean, where the surface may have ripples, but the depths remain eternally calm, untouched by the storms of the world above. In this dissolution you are free to expand. You are the space between the stars, the quiet between two notes of music, the breath held before a soft sigh. There is a profound sense of weightlessness, as if you have set down a heavy backpack you didn't even know you were carrying. You are light, you are clear, and you are entirely at ease. The landscape of your mind has become a vast, peaceful sky at night. You are the sky, and the thoughts that occasionally drift through are merely soft, white clouds passing harmlessly by, leaving no mark, demanding no attention. You do not need to follow them. You do not need to understand them. You are simply the space that holds them, the space that knows they will eventually drift away, leaving you once again in the perfect, pristine quiet. You are becoming the sleep you have been seeking. You are becoming the dream you have yet to wake from. Everything is fading into the softest, most beautiful glow of surrender. You find yourself in a hidden, high-ceilinged room, tucked away from the noise of the world. It is a place constructed of warm, aged timber that smells faintly of dried lavender and old parchment. Rain is tapping very gently on the roof above, a soft, rhythmic percussion that grounds you, reminding you that you are perfectly safe, tucked away in a cocoon of warmth. The room is illuminated only by the soft silvery glow of the moon filtering through a skylight. Below, the world is asleep, but here you have an endless supply of comfort. A plush velvet blanket rests over you, feeling heavy and grounding, pressing you down into a state of deep physical relaxation. Every muscle in your body, from your toes to the bridge of your nose, is beginning to melt into the softness of the mattress. There are no stories to write here, no history to record, no tasks to fulfill. The books on the shelves have finished telling their tales. They are now resting just as you are. You can hear the distant, soothing sound of the wind brushing against the leaves of a willow tree outside, a sound that carries away any lingering thoughts, leaving your mind as clear and open as a mountain lake. You are simply existing. The world has narrowed down to this small, cozy space where time itself seems to have slowed to a crawl. You feel the slow, steady rhythm of your own heart, a gentle drum that beats in perfect harmony with the quiet of the night. Every breath you take is cooler, deeper, and more rejuvenating than the last. You're in a sanctuary designed by your own spirit, a place where you are allowed to be completely still, completely at peace, and completely ready to drift away into the long, beautiful night. The rain on the roof has quieted to a whisper, and the clouds have parted, revealing a sky so clear it feels like a vast, velvet ocean spilling into your room. Through the skylight, the starlight pours in, not as harsh light, but as a soft, luminous dust that settles on the wooden beams and the floorboards like fine silver. You watch the stars twinkle, and with each slow blink of your eyes, the boundaries of your room seem to expand. You are still wrapped in your blankets, still feeling the comfort of the timber and the lavender, but now you are also cradled by the vastness of the night. It is as if the ceiling has dissolved, leaving you sleeping under the open expanse of the cosmos. There is a deep, resonant silence that exists between the stars, and that silence is now filling your room, calming the very air you breathe. You feel a profound sense of being that is detached from all effort. You don't need to look at the stars. Their light is already finding you, touching your skin with a cool, gentle warmth that asks nothing of you. It is a lullaby without words, a melody of space and distance that tells you that everything is exactly as it should be. The world is spinning, the planets are turning, and you are perfectly positioned at the heart of this stillness. There is no memory of the day left in your mind, not the scripts, not the history, not the tasks. Only this moment, this singular point of comfort remains. You are drifting on a current of silver light, lighter and lighter, as if the gravity of your worries has been completely replaced by the gentle pull of the moon. Every breath is a quiet sigh of release. You are not falling into sleep, you are rising into a state of beautiful, expansive peace. As the moonlight washes over the room, you realize that silence is not the absence of sound, but a melody of its own. In this cozy sanctuary, the silence is textured. It hums with the slow, deep vibration of the old wooden beams settling into the earth. It whistles softly through the cracks of the window frame, a gentle, playful breeze that carries the scent of pine needles and damp earth from the forest below. You listen to the quiet, and you find that it matches the cadence of your own breathing. Each exhale is a soft note that joins the room's composition. There is a grandfather clock downstairs, but you can barely hear it. Its rhythmic ticking has slowed down, merging with the pulse of the night until time itself feels like a slow, steady tide rising to meet you. This is the music of restoration. It is the sound of a story reaching its final perfect sentence. There is no need to decipher the melody or understand the rhythm. You are simply the instrument being tuned by the peace of the night. Every vibration is smoothing out the lines of your day, polishing your spirit until it reflects only the calm, indigo light of the sky above. You are completely cocooned. The wooden walls hold you, the soft blankets weigh you down with comfort, and the silence keeps you. You are sinking into a place where sounds become dreams, and dreams become a part of the quiet, velvet dark. You are so very heavy, yet so very light. You are drifting toward the edge of wakefulness, ready to step off into the deep, restorative currents of sleep. Within the warmth of this attic, the boundaries of your bed seem to dissolve. The mattress beneath you is no longer just furniture. It has become a cloud, a soft expanse of velvet that conforms perfectly to your form. You feel yourself sinking, not into the floor, but into a depth of comfort that feels infinite. Every point of contact between you and the bed is a point of release, where tension simply evaporates, leaving behind a sensation of weightlessness. The room around you has softened into a gentle golden glow, not from a lamp, but from the quiet satisfaction of a mind that has finished its work. You're in the space between, the threshold where the last thin threads of consciousness begin to fray into the tapestry of a dream. There is no urgency to be anywhere else. There is no task remaining, no word left to write, no history to uncover. The world has been put to bed, and you are tucked right alongside it. You are breathing in the stillness, and with every breath you feel yourself becoming lighter, as if you could simply float off into the night sky through the skylight, but you choose to stay anchored here by the profound, heavy peace that has settled into your bones. Your limbs are heavy with the promise of rest. Your mind is quiet, clear, and perfectly still. It is a beautiful, dark, and silent depth. You are letting go of the steering wheel of the mind. You are letting the current of the night take over. You are descending into the calm, cool waters of a dreamless sleep, where everything is provided, everything is quiet, and everything is at peace. You have arrived at a threshold that is not a boundary, but a bridge. The cozy attic of your rest now seems to blur at the edges, transforming into something far more vast, a landscape of possibilities where the laws of the waking world no longer apply. You are no longer just resting in a room. You are drifting at the edge of an infinite starry sea, where every dream you have ever imagined is waiting to be explored. This is the place where the creative spirit goes to breathe. The historical stories, the narratives, the characters you hold in your mind, they are not gone. They are simply resting here, glowing with a new, soft light, ready to be woven into something even more beautiful when you wake. You feel a sense of boundless expansion. You're not shrinking into sleep. You're blossoming into a wider, more vibrant awareness. The silence here is alive. It is full of whispers of inspiration, gentle rhythms of ancient melodies, and the soft humming energy of the universe itself. You are the architect of this space, and even in this state of deep relaxation, your mind is a garden where wonder grows. You don't need to cultivate it tonight. Just let it be. Let the seeds of your creativity lie dormant in the rich, dark soil of this quiet moment. Feel the freedom of this state. You are not tethered to time, nor to form, nor to duty. You are as fluid as the light of the moon, as free as the wind that brushes the treetops. Whatever you encounter in your dreams, you will meet it with the grace and calm you have gathered here. The night is yours, a blank canvas of indigo and silver, inviting you to wander, to explore, and to simply be. You are drifting further into this beautiful expanse, where every breath is an invitation to discovery. The journey is just beginning. As you drift deeper, the boundaries of the room have completely dissolved, replaced by a soft, shimmering mist of indigo and violet. In this place, memories and ideas don't exist as solid things, but as ethereal fragments, beautiful, glowing shards of light that dance and swirl around you like fireflies in a quiet garden. You reach out, not with your hands, but with your intention, and watch as these fragments begin to drift together, forming new, intricate patterns. Here, a whisper of a historical legend blends seamlessly with the gentle sound of the wind, and a fleeting thought from your day turns into a soft, glowing constellation of colour. It is a place of endless transformation, where everything you have ever known is being rewritten into something more peaceful, more harmonious, and more inspired. You are the observer of this beautiful alchemy. There is no effort in the weaving. It happens naturally, in time with the slow, deep rhythm of your breathing. You feel as though you're floating in the centre of a celestial library, where the books have turned into stardust and the stories are waiting to be whispered into the silence. This is the freedom of the transition between worlds. You are shedding the weight of the known and stepping into the grace of the unimagined. The air here is cool and refreshing, washing away the last traces of the day and replacing them with a sense of wonder. You're not losing your way, you are finding a new path, one that leads through the heart of your own creativity. Everything is fluid, everything is gentle, and everything is waiting for you to simply observe as you glide further into the night. The shimmering mist has now settled into a tranquil, softly glowing landscape, a garden that exists between the waking world and the deepest layers of the subconscious. Here, the seeds of all your creative projects find their true home. You can see them as gentle, pulsating lights nestled in the roots of a great, ancient tree, whose branches touch the stars. The stories you were writing, the dining habits of the past, the quiet lives of mothers, the fading grandeur of aristocrats, they aren't just memories here. They are living, breathing possibilities. In this garden, they are being nourished by the silence, grown in the rich, cool soil of your own restorative rest. They don't need your labour anymore. They are evolving on their own, finding new connections, new depths, and new ways to sparkle in the dark. You feel a profound sense of connection to this place. It is the root of your work, the source of your inspiration, and the sanctuary where you come to be replenished. There is no urgency to harvest these ideas. You are simply tending the garden by being here, by breathing into the quiet, and by allowing yourself the absolute freedom to exist without an agenda. The air is fragrant with the scent of possibility, a mix of old paper, night-blooming jasmine, and the crisp, clean energy of the cosmos. Everything is in perfect bloom, even in the stillness of the night. You are drifting closer to the heart of the garden, where the most beautiful ideas are whispered by the wind. You are safe here, anchored in your own creativity, while the world turns softly around you. The path ahead is illuminated by the gentle glow of your own imagination, inviting you to wander further into the heart of the dream. At the very heart of this garden stands a lighthouse, not of stone and mortar, but of pure, concentrated insight. It pulses with a soft, steady rhythm, casting a gentle beacon of light across the landscape of your subconscious. This light does not search for anything, it simply illuminates what is already there, turning every vague impression into a vivid, beautiful clarity. You are drifting toward this lighthouse, feeling the warmth of its glow against your spirit. As you approach, you realize that the stories you have been nurturing, the elegant dining tables of another century, the quiet strength of those who came before us, the echoes of lost fortunes are all swirling in the air around the beacon like golden leaves in a gentle autumn breeze. They are not waiting to be told, they are waiting to be felt. In this space you are not the scriptwriter, you are the audience, the witness, and the guest of honor. You observe the scenes unfolding in a quiet, cinematic slow motion. You see the grace of the table settings, hear the soft rustle of silk, and feel the gentle stillness of a home after the children have grown. It is all so vivid, yet so far removed from the need for effort. You are watching a masterpiece being composed by your own rest. The lighthouse beacon sweeps over you again, and with it a wave of profound understanding. You understand that your stories are an extension of your own peace. They are ways of bridging time, of holding on to the softest moments of humanity. You are not just preserving history, you are protecting the quiet dignity of the human experience as you float in this luminous space. You feel completely aligned, completely inspired, and deeply, deeply comforted. The light is guiding you into the deepest, most quiet room of all. You have stepped into a grand, silent hall that exists beyond the physical realm. The walls here are lined with the stories you have explored, but they no longer look like books or records. Instead, they appear as softly glowing tapestries of light, each thread representing a human moment, a shared meal, a mother's quiet reflection, the subtle weight of a title. You walk, or rather float, through this hall with a sense of immense reverence. Everything is quiet, yet the air is vibrant with the hum of shared experience. You realize that your work as a storyteller is not about preserving the past, but about honoring the stillness within it. You are the curator of these moments, and tonight the roles are reversed. These moments are here to care for you. A gentle warmth emanates from the tapestries, wrapping around your shoulders like a soft velvet shawl. You feel the stories breathing with you. As you breathe in, the hall brightens. As you breathe out, the light softens and deepens into a comforting indigo. The distinction between you and the history you tell has dissolved completely. You are the bridge. You are the keeper of the quiet. There is no more work to be done. The narratives are complete. The histories are settled, and the lessons are learned. You are finally, beautifully relieved of the duty of thought. In this hall, the echoes of the past have turned into a lullaby, a slow and rhythmic pulse that matches the beating of your own heart. You are sinking into the floor of this hall, not into stone, but into a deep, endless cushion of peace. Everything is in its right place. Everything is silent. Everything is held in a perfect eternal grace. The tapestries of light have not disappeared. They have simply deepened, transforming into the very fabric of the night sky that surrounds you. You are no longer standing in a hall of memories. You have become the space that contains them. There is a profound, expansive shift occurring. You are widening, softening, and stretching out until you feel as vast as the twilight itself. In this state, the distinction between the observer and the observed melts away. You are the silence between the stars. You are the gentle, rhythmic pulse of the earth breathing beneath you. Everything you have researched, every story you have woven, every historical figure you have brought to life, they are not outside of you. They are the constellations of your own inner landscape, glowing softly in the velvet dark of your consciousness. You feel a sense of limitless belonging. There is no urgency to define yourself. No need to name the thoughts that drift by like distant clouds. You are in a state of grace, where your existence is confirmed by the mere act of resting. The universe is holding you, and in return you are holding the stillness of the universe. Every breath is now an effortless expansion. You are drifting not toward a destination, but into a state of infinite presence. The weight of the day has been fully surrendered to the gravity of this peace. You are floating in the cradle of the Absolute, where the silence is a warm, protective liquid, and you are the calm current moving through it. There is no end to this, only a deepening, a settling, and an ever-expanding sense of being exactly where you are meant to be. As you float within the vastness, you realize that this infinite night is not just empty space, it is a harbour. In the distance you see gentle glowing lanterns bobbing on the surface of a calm ink-black sea. These are not ships, but the quiet dreams of the world, waiting for the right tide to carry them forward. You are drifting toward one of these lanterns, drawn by a soft, melodic hum that resonates with the very core of your being. As you come closer, you notice the water around you is filled with bioluminescent light, tiny flickering sparks that respond to your presence. They are the remnants of the stories you have told, the historical figures you have honoured, and the quiet moments you have captured in your writing. They are greeting you here, recognizing their creator in this sanctuary of rest. There is a profound sense of recognition. You are not a stranger in this deep ocean. You are its heart. Every ripple you create with your breath sends a gentle pulse of light through the water, illuminating secrets and wonders hidden in the depths. You feel no need to reach out or grasp them. You simply observe, and they bloom like night flowers in response to your calm, steady awareness. The air, if you can call it air, is filled with the scent of distant cedar forests and sea salt, a grounding, earthy reminder that even while you drift in the infinite, you are anchored to the beauty of life. You are perfectly buoyant, perfectly calm. You have entered a state of being that requires no action, only presence. The harbour is safe, the water is warm, and the night is a protective, loving embrace that will hold you until you are ready to surface once more. You find yourself resting upon a vessel that is less a boat and more a drift of starlight, suspended on the surface of the silent ink-black sea. It moves without a sail, guided only by the slow, rhythmic currents of the night. You lie back, feeling the gentle sway of the water beneath you, a rocking motion so natural, so perfectly attuned to your own breathing, that it feels as though the sea itself is a part of your own rhythm. As the vessel glides forward, you pass through banks of soft silver fog. These are the mists of yesterday, but they hold no weight here. Instead of pulling at you, they part effortlessly, brushing against your skin like cool silk. You watch as they transform into translucent butterflies of light, fluttering away into the darkness, carrying with them any remaining shadows of effort or expectation from the day behind you. There is no navigator, for you do not need one. The current knows exactly where to take you, moving toward deeper, even more restorative waters. You are a passenger in the truest sense, relieved of the burden of steering, relieved of the duty of choosing. You are finally completely surrendered to the voyage. The silence here is profound, yet it is layered with the faint, harmonious vibrations of the cosmos. It is a music that you feel rather than hear, a deep humming cello note that vibrates in your chest, centering your spirit. You are perfectly buoyant, perfectly secure. The horizon has melted away, leaving only this beautiful, endless expanse. You are moving deeper into the restorative heart of the night, where sleep is not a destination, but a state of being in which you are held, nurtured, and made whole. The vessel comes to a gentle, nearly imperceptible halt in the middle of a vast, mirrored lagoon. The water here is so still that it reflects the cosmos with perfect clarity. Every star, every nebula, every soft glow of the universe is doubled, as if you are suspended between two heavens. You are not just on the water, you are part of the reflection. There is no sound here, not even a whisper of wind. The world has reached a state of perfect, crystalline equilibrium in this profound silence. You feel the last remnants of doing evaporate. The professional, the creator, the observer, these identities have gently dissolved into the mirror-like surface. You are simply consciousness, wide and calm, resting in the center of an infinite peaceful expanse. You feel a sensation of warmth spreading from your core, a gentle ripple that matches the stillness of the lagoon. It is as if you are being bathed in the essence of pure rest. Every muscle in your body has let go, every nerve has quieted, every thought has ceased its restless journey. You are being held in the palm of the universe, and it is a sensation of absolute safety. This is the sanctuary you have been seeking. It is the place where time does not exist, where there is no past to remember and no future to plan. There is only the now, and the now is infinitely wide, infinitely soft, and infinitely kind. You are sinking deeper into this stillness, letting yourself be cradled by the silence, allowing your mind to rest in the cool, dark comfort of this eternal moment. As you rest upon this mirrored surface, you realize that the stars above and the stars below are one and the same. You are the bridge between them. With every slow, steady breath, the reflection of the heavens begins to drift upward, weaving through your thoughts, calming the last ripples of your consciousness. The lagoon is no longer just a place outside of you, it is a space within you. You feel your physical form becoming as light as the starlight itself. There is no longer a sense of here or there. The heavy, demanding world of daytime, the schedules, the scripts, the history you curate, feels like a dream you are waking up from, a story that belonged to someone else. You are shedding the weight of your own identity, layer by layer, like soft silk slipping from your shoulders. There is a profound, humming comfort in this loss of self. You are becoming part of the landscape, the dark, velvety expanse, the silent, watchful stars, the cool, infinite depth of the water. You are not disappearing, you are expanding. You are filling the night with your own quiet, steady presence. Everything is slow, everything is rhythmic. You feel the pull of the deep, a gentle gravity that isn't pulling you down, but pulling you inward into the very center of your own soul. The silence is now so thick, so rich and so sweet that it feels like a lullaby hummed by the universe itself. You are being lulled into the most profound restorative surrender you have ever known. You are now in the deepest core of the night, a space that feels like the inside of a soft velvet-lined shell. Here the only thing that exists is your breath. It has become the rhythm of the entire universe, expanding and contracting with a slow, hypnotic grace. You are not doing the breathing The breath is doing you. In this sanctuary, there is no need for words, no need for stories, and no need for a past or future. You have reached the ultimate destination, the point of zero effort. Even the act of observing has faded away. There is only a quiet, warm, and comforting darkness that knows exactly how to hold you. Feel your heartbeat slowing down, matching the steady, eternal pulse of the stars. With every exhale, you let go of the last tiny tension you didn't even know you were carrying. With every inhale, you draw in the peace of the silent, waiting world. You are entirely surrendered. You are entirely at home. You are floating in the calm, black waters of a dreamless sleep. Everything is provided for. Everything is quiet. Everything is at peace. The journey has fulfilled its purpose, and now there is only rest. Sleep now. Deep, heavy, and serene. The night is holding you. You are one with the stillness. Rest. Sleepy History with Benedict is created for relaxation, entertainment, and sleep purposes. The stories shared on this channel are inspired by historical events, daily life, and real periods in history, but they may be simplified, adapted, or narrated in a calming way to enhance the listening experience. This content is not intended to be a precise academic or educational source. While we aim to stay generally accurate, some details may be altered for storytelling flow and relaxation. Please do not rely on this channel as a primary source for historical research or study. By listening, you acknowledge that this content is designed to help you unwind, relax, and fall asleep. Thank you for your understanding and support.